Welcome back to NigerianTVOnline.com. Re-engineering Anambra State from the year 2003. My guest is the man with his officers, cabinet members, who turned Anambra around. But we've reached a point where I would like to ask the governor certain questions. I want to open this interview up, sir.
Yeah.
Your Excellency, do you by any chance see a hidden agenda to revive the third term initiative?
Yes, in Nigeria.
In Nigeria.
Globally. Well, I don't think so. What we had earlier in the year was a constitutional amendment for people who are not to be to aspire to vote for a third term. In fact, some of them said even limitless tenure. But it's all dead now because the National Assembly, in her ultimate wisdom, decided not to amend the Nigerian Constitution in that direction.
That would allow an individual to serve more than...
So I do not know how else anybody can do it because it's dead until the life of the new parliament is created. The new parliament is given life, and that is from June 2007 when you have the new parliament. This particular parliament cannot touch that bill anymore. They cannot.
Is there any way that they can go about it, create a state of emergency? Is there any
state of emergency will also be approved by the National Assembly.
Must be approved.
Yes. And if they disallow it by a 2/3 vote, then it is allowed. Then it doesn't fly. Assuming that the president, like he did, invoked powers conferred by the Constitution to declare state of emergency in Ekiti State, and the National Assembly says, no, we do not agree. We want the status quo to stay. The status quo will stay. It will last because the invocation instrument says that 48 hours after the invocation, and the National Assembly does not assent to it, then it lapses.
It lapses.
So I don't think it's an easy business now. The business now that is worrisome will be that of anointing of candidates, putting surrogate governors and surrogate service people. So
that is the major concern now.
Not the question of tenure elongation. Tenure elongation is dead, and it's dead, and it's finally dead and buried.
I think maybe the audience ought to understand one thing about this this new and young democracy in Nigeria.
Yeah,
it's she's a baby, a democracy that is almost like since 1999.
Yes.
So to just imagine a young baby born in 1999 till now, barely what is it, second grade.
Yeah.
So, but imagine also that the manipulation of that democracy, it's not a very pretty sight. Governor, let me ask you, where Nigeria is now undergoing an election, what is the probability of a national fair election in 2007?
Well,
fair election, I mean.
I can tell you the Nigerian populace, the expectation as per the election is very high. And the present Independent National Electoral Commission, I don't know how far they can go. Professor Iwu, the professor of cognosy, is a brilliant man, and I follow the trend of what is happening. I think he's determined to at least put up a legacy for himself, members of his family, and his children. I can tell you one thing. Nigerians appreciate when the right things are done. Nigerian electorate and all Nigerians, they have never stopped talking about one man called Professor Humphrey Nwosu, who they said gave them the most transparent election in the country in 1992. The election that was won by Chief MKO Abiola. They have not forgotten it. So
they are cognizant of it.
They are, and they are forever grateful to Nwosu. And they mention his name glowingly. So I'm advising Professor Iwu to follow the path of honor. It doesn't matter whose ox is God. He's an umpire. He's a referee. If your friend fails an election, tell him sorry. You couldn't help because he failed. But if your friend passes the election, uphold his election, resist pressure to disenfranchise or advantage your friend. That is what you can do. So the men in INEC, I think, will try to put their names in gold, carve it into the granite of history in Nigeria. Professor Humphrey Nwosu is already there. And I want Professor Morris Iwu to be there.
And many Nigerians want him to be there.
Yes, they want him to be there. And he's talking as if he wants to be there. I'm encouraged by his talks. Just the actions is what we are now waiting for. Because, I mean, it's a serious job.
It's a very
under
serious job.
all type of pressure from friends, from allies, childhood friends, from governors, from ministers, from presidents, presidential aides. Yes, but when the history of the election is being written, nobody will know that those people were applying pressure on him. They will only mention his name. And his name will go into the golden path of history or the dark path of history. And I know he will want to be on the golden path.
He wants to be on the golden path.
Yes, yes.
With that said, Governor, is democracy alive and well in Nigeria?
Democracy in Nigeria is crawling. We started, if you remember very well, democracy in 1960 after independence, and we moved to 66. It was truncated. We're having interregnums of the military. Brought democracy back in a quasi military form, a sort of diarchy. We had a military government at the center and a democratically elected government at the local government level and to some extent in the state before the Abacha coup. And after that, we had Abubakar who put in a timetable which he implemented to the letter. That gave birth to the Fourth Republic, which we're enjoying now. Chief Obidike came in, did a 4-year tenure, uninterrupted, and then did an election and got a second tenure, which Shagari couldn't do in 1983. And so to that extent, we created history, even though the election was alleged to have been fought with all sorts of irregularities all over the country. And there is the exception from what the reports of the foreign monitors and local monitors and even the INEC staff themselves said. So it was a generalized thing. And we pray that in 2007 it won't happen. It won't repeat. Yes, it won't repeat.
The importance of voters, the electorate, the new generation, the young generation,
yes,
women, how important is their vote in 2007?
Women constitute a large majority of the populace in Nigeria. You know that the Nigerian population is made up of about 60% women and children. So I don't think a group that you neglect or push over or say that they don't matter. They matter. The only thing is that the women in Nigeria are still growing up politically, and we do hope that they will grow up well. The youths are the same. We want the youths to grow and realize the importance of voting, so that they can use their votes and vote, and enthrone good leadership. We are optimistic that after this particular transition, where we transit from another civilian, one civilian president to another civilian government, democracy will start taking firm votes, provided that the elections that bring this transition will be free and fair. If it's free
that leads me to that next question, Governor. Here in the United States,
yes,
it is so sad, often very annoying. Every Nigerian, or most of the many Nigerians that you see, believe that 2003, the rigging, all of that will be repeated. People's name will be just submitted without them being elected.
Well, this is what I'm telling you, that Morrissey, who has vowed that he wants to be on the right path of history, he wants to make a name for himself. People tell me that I made a name in Anambra State.
Yes, you did.
And that was at a cost. What is the cost? The cost is that I did not look at family. I didn't run a parochial government. I didn't run a government of cliques, cliquism. I didn't run a government that shared money with godfathers. And that is why my problem started. I didn't run a government that was bereft of due process. I instituted due process in my state. If you're my friend, you call me on phone, you want a job, I say, yes, it's open to you. The job is up for grabs. You go tender with other people. If you're technically adjudged to be competent, and your tender is good, we want the lowest tender, that is good, coming from a qualified person,
the job is yours.
Then the job is yours. Where I come in as your friend is that when you have fulfilled these conditions and they want to cheat you, they want to suppress you and take the job and give it to another person, I will intervene and I say no.
He's qualified.
He's qualified and he won the tender, he won the bids. That is where you are knowing me will then come in. Alright? Even at that, for those who don't also know me, when the tender analysis are brought to me, I will look, I will read, and see why this man who had the lowest tender was not chosen. The reasons must be satisfactory before I will sign off on it for council. So this is it, and so what I'm saying is that these things come with a cost. You know that the normal practice, business as usual method in Nigeria is that the governor will sit down in his office and award contracts of 2 billion to friends with a tender procedure. So some of my friends were expecting that, we were disappointed. And they might not be too happy with you. And I know that some of them are not too happy with me. But I was on the part of the people. I wanted to give the people quality. Good procurement services for their money. The money doesn't belong to Chris Ngige. It's the money that belongs to the people of the state. The money was counted. The people in the state were counted. Because before the federal allocation money is given to you, population of the place is counted. Population indices come into play. So it's not my money.
Not a hidden agenda.
I held the money in trust for the good people of Anambra State. 3.5 million people. So I couldn't have given it to you as you wanted.
It's not yours to give.
No, it's not mine to give. So that's what happened. So Iwu professor, for him to go into the right side of history, he has to also stretch himself. He can displease his friends. He can displease his townmen. That's the cost. He got to. But once he doesn't want to do that, sorry, he cannot produce a free and fair election result.
So far we can say that he's doing fine.
Yes, so far He's trying his best with the Nigerian factor. Because you can see there was a lot of shouting over the machines that the INEC has failed, that they couldn't. But the importation of those machines were given to some Nigerian businessmen. That's the question people didn't ask. Why did the Nigerian businessmen not bring the machines in? As and when do? Professor Iwu might not want to say it. The monies for the importation were released to him late. Yes, I'm here in America, but I read the internet, I follow everything that's happening. I also have friends that talk to me from Federal Ministry of Finance, from Central Bank, and the rest of them.
You're on the phone 24 hours a day.
So Iwu, maybe Professor Iwu is trying to be modest, trying to not run into collision with other arms of government. But the truth of the matter is that I did not see him having the money to import those machines and putting the money under his legs. He can't do so. He did not do so, and I'm pretty sure he did not. So
not nowadays.
Yeah. So the fault is not probably his as such, but what do? He is the final consumer. He's the man who signed off for the importation, and Nigerian businessmen, as usual, they will not know the urgency with this. They will try to cut corners and stuff like that, and they will waste you maybe some few weeks, not knowing that these things are critically and urgently needed. So that is it. So
at the same time, tamper with the
he is trying to adjust, and I give him kudos for trying to adjust. He's working in a very dangerous terrain, very, very dangerous. I don't envy him.
Governor, we have a few more minutes, but there's a few more questions. Nigerians in diaspora,
yes,
they would like to participate in this election,
yes,
in 2007,
yes,
especially the gubernatorial and the
presidential
election.
Yes.
How is it possible? Now, we do know that there is a bill in the House. What can be done?
Well, you're talking about absentee ballot.
Absentee ballots.
Absentee ballot is not yet okay for Nigeria. The bill has not been passed. And you can hear the chairman of the commission, Professor, telling you that he's trying to have an electronic register. And he's meeting with all sorts of resistance. He's done well in saying that he wants to capture the actual number of voters. That is one of the ways you decrease rigging, because like in a polling booth now, the delineation is for 500 people to register in that area. And what happens is that on election day, you discover that out of 500 in the manual register, only 100 people are really living human beings. The other 400 are now numbers that could be used to rig. People will allocate to themselves or to their friends or to their candidates. The electoral officers will also manipulate the figures and add or sell the absentee people. The absentee 500. So, but if you capture that there are actual 500 people here, and they are living human beings, and on election day, you will see them come and authenticate themselves with their card and photograph and maybe fingerprint. I mean, you have reduced the rigging.
That's a dream not for today, but for tomorrow.
Well, it's possible. That's what they're doing now. Direct capture. That's what they're doing, and I hope it materializes. If it does materialize, then we have nipped rigging in the board by about 50%. Yeah.
Governor, you have really set the tone from where you have been, what you have done. The question now that many people would like to know, we will let you know